Did you know that Palpatine may have been very afraid of R2D2? In today's video, we're going to find out why. Hey guys, how are you doing today? I'm Star Wars Meg, and in today's video we're going to look at why Palpatine may have been really scared of R2D2. Before we get into the video guys, please may I ask you to hit like on this video, to subscribe to my channel if you're new, and please consider becoming a patron of mine on Patreon. For just $2 a month you get exclusive benefits such as shoutouts in every video. It helps to support my channel so I can keep it running, and also you get exclusive content that's not found on YouTube. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. I will say as a caveat to this video that everything is complete speculation based on what we know about the characters of Palpatine and R2D2, so nothing is really confirmed in canon on this precise question, but it's fascinating nonetheless, and I hope I can convince you as to why I believe Palpatine was actually very frightened by the prospect of R2D2. So Palpatine and R2D2, these are two characters that are rarely named in the same sentence. Believe it or not, they only share 2 seconds of screen time in total together across the Skywalker Saga. These 2 seconds can be found during this scene in Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, where Palpatine looks fearfully over at R2D2 as Anakin and Obi-Wan land the ship into Coruscant. So let's talk a little bit about each character and how they connect to each other in this Star Wars theory. First, we need to talk about the overlap between R2 and Palpatine. At first glance, there is no overlap. Both characters don't really interact with one another, nor have a need to. One is an astromech droid, and the other is the most powerful Sith villain to ever have existed. But if you follow the line of thinking of this following theory, you'll see what I'm getting at. We have to initially ask the question, what was Palpatine most afraid of during Star Wars Episode 3? Well, to be honest, he was only scared of one thing and one thing alone, his plans for Anakin to not come into fruition. He needed Anakin to join him for the next step of his plan, and his only way to do this was by lying to him and manipulating his mind. At this point in the movie, Palpatine wasn't scared of the idea of losing his power, nor the idea of being overthrown by the Jedi. He was afraid that Anakin would see through his lies and not become caught up in the emotional turmoil over potentially losing Padme. Let's park this idea right here for now, and we'll come back to it later, since it ties in with the next part of the theory in a moment. Now we have to talk about R2D2. He isn't spoken about a lot in the world of Star Wars speculations and theories, because it's often assumed that nearly everything is known about him. But there's one thing that is so obvious, it's always overlooked. This is the fact that without a doubt, R2D2 is the most powerful droid in the galaxy. Think about it. His memory was never wiped clean. He contained memories of all the Jedi training he witnessed, including Anakin's. He has a history of going on secret missions under numerous authorities. He witnessed multiple galactic wars, and when you really think about it, he was the living documentation for all the events of the Skywalker Saga. So how does this tie into what we established earlier about Palpatine? Simply put, Palpatine didn't want any external factors interfering with Anakin's development into Vader. He wasn't too afraid of the other Jedi because he banked on the fact that Anakin had lost faith and trust in the entire Jedi Order. So who did that leave in the way of Palpatine's plan for Anakin? Obi-Wan? No, because he was the first person who Anakin lost faith in. Padme? There was no chance of Padme convincing Anakin away from Palpatine, because in Anakin's mind he was the only one who could save her. We can do this deduction all day about characters, but when you give it some deep thought, R2D2 was the only character who was present who could have influenced Anakin's decisions. R2 could have visually presented many of Anakin's training memories and other historical artifacts from his training days that could have reminded him of his original intention with the Jedi, including how the dark side clouds people's vision. Okay, I know what you're thinking. R2 couldn't have convinced Anakin, who was strongly set on the idea of learning from Palpatine. While I see that point of view, let me point you to the fact that R2D2 is very convincing throughout the Skywalker Saga. Think about how his hologram of Leia influenced Ben and Luke to stand up to the Empire in A New Hope. Or perhaps how he changed the mind of old Luke Skywalker, who was set on failure and giving up to die alone on R2 in Episode 8, The Last Jedi. At this point, you might also say that Palpatine wasn't even aware of R2D2, and to be honest, you're right, he wasn't. But if anyone was going to stand in Palpatine's way and convince stubborn Anakin, the only character with the best shot would have been his beloved little blue and white astro droid, R2D2. Had Palpatine been aware of him and the power he really had to pull on the heartstrings of others and deter them away from evil, Palpatine, as Darth Sidious, really would have had a good reason to be very, very afraid. So that's pretty much my theory, guys. What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Once again, please hit like on this video and subscribe to my channel if you're new. I'm Star Wars Meg, and I will see you next time for another video, and I wish you a fantastic rest of the day, no matter where you are in the galaxy.